Indeed. Before we had skit makers, we had people like Dr. Jude Orhohra. You know what? He's been involved in stage productions, series, radio dramas, cinema, and he's been giving us those every 10-second laughs that we needed on TV.
From the very first time we saw him on our screens, we knew that we would not be taking our eyes off of this character or any other character he was going to be playing. And it is an honor to actually have him here on the couch with us today. But I will let him do his own introduction when I ask him his name. Sir, please, what is your name?
My name is Dr. Jude Orhohra.
What language is that? What language is
that? It's a group of languages.
Yoruba.
Yoruba?
Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. But you're not Yoruba, are you?
I'm Delta, proudly Warri.
Oh.
I'm a Robo, actually.
Okay, that's fantastic.
It's actually alarming to see you this calm. I'm a little bit more ginger.
There's a lot we're going to, but I've been challenged. They said that you can't tell your name and I won't tell mine, so I have to introduce myself. Please ask me my name.
So, introduce yourself, sir.
My name is Maziak Gbenro from Abejinya, but I'm a teacher.
Oh! So, how do you spell that on your passport?
Let's leave that. It's not about me. It's about me. It's Jude. Welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
I must remind you of the very first memory I have of you on screen.
Oh, okay.
And that was playing, what's the name of the character in Flatmates now? The very adorable character who couldn't speak.
Sorry,
in Checkmate, rather.
Checkmate.
What was his name?
Gbenro.
Gbenro, thank you very much. That was Gbenro.
Goodness
Gbenro
me.
was the one character everybody tuned in to see all the time because they knew that they had plenty of laughs because he couldn't speak. But his characterization of whatever it was he wanted to say was epic.
He didn't need to speak.
He didn't need to speak.
But talk to us about the origins of that character.
Okay, back in the 80s, when I was still living with my mom, or rather, early 70s to 80s, the landlord of the house happened to be, he had a son who happens to be deaf and mute. Okay, so everything in life is a process. I never knew that later, I'll be called upon to come and act such a role.
Yeah.
So Amaka Igwe of blessed memory, who happens to be the producer of Checkmate, this was 1990. Now I said, Jude, gave me a scenario, say, act like a deaf and dumb.
Wow.
So all I needed to do was rewind my memory back to my friend, and the rest is history.
I hope you paid him some money because that guy made you blue.
By the time they called me to come and play the character, he was already late.
Oh, too bad. But you actually left something. You actually made sure that at least there was a piece of him inside of that character. That
Yes.
That's beautiful. That's
amazing.
Yes.
But in terms of building characters and being on screen, you've been through essentially 2 generations of essentially Nollywood stroke, old Nollywood stroke, new Nollywood.
Yeah.
So I need to ask about how it was then and how it is now. How is it for you?
I would basically say that we gave the young ones, the new ones, a soft landing, based on the fact that during our time, there was nothing like social media. So we had PAs going to people's houses to notify them that, look, tomorrow, next week is your day of shoot. But right now, it's phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everything is easy via phone.
Wow.
So it was not easy for us then. So right now, we have to move with the time. Right now, it is the number of followers you have on Instagram that will determine your job.
Yeah.
If you do not have enough followers, then sorry, nothing for you. Talent is not enough.
Say it again for people in the
Right.
back. Not enough.
But I keep telling them, please don't drown the people that taught you how to swim.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Interesting.
That's very nice.
So
I think we should tweet that.
Don't drown the people that taught you how to swim.
yeah, so the way it is right now, we have to cooperate with each other.
Yeah.
And there's this say that they say there's new Nollywood and old Nollywood.
I know you don't like it. I know.
What?
The old guys don't like it. The old Nollywood guys, sorry.
No, it's not as if they don't like
Veterans
it.
don't like
I'm pleading to my contemporaries as well. Look, let's just ignore this stuff. But the major thing is forge ahead.
Yeah.
Let's make history. I mean, our Nigerian musicians are making history. So it's out. Let's do the same thing.
Yeah.
As a doctor of arts, and for one who's been in this industry for the longest time and who's set a precedence for people to follow when it comes to comedy, because you started with that character that was, fun to see. And when I still see that guy. I'm sorry. Not stereotyping you or anything. But the situation of sitcoms in Nigeria, do we have enough sitcoms like what you guys started out, Fuji House of Commotion, Checkmate, and all of the rest? Fuji House of Commotion was the actual sitcom.
Yeah.
It was a spin-off from
Checkmate.
From Checkmate, and it stood. It was robust on its own. It was enough laughs for over 45 minutes each time. But do we have, would you say, that kind, the semblance of that kind of characters or setup representing sitcoms now in Nigeria, would you say?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. For instance, the Johnsons.
Okay, yeah.
It's more like a man with his family. We have lots of sitcoms that portray that kind of family. But the difference between theirs and ours was because Chief Fuji himself lived with the wives and all the children together.
Yeah.
But in other sitcoms, they tend to, turn towards Fujias, but in a different way.
Yeah.
You know, when you watch the story of Jesus Christ, right? You have variants. You have almost 10 different. It's the same thing with Titanic.
Yeah.
It's not about the thematic occupation, but the way and manner you go about it.
Yeah.
That really matters right now. So you can have different versions of Fuji House, but.
So I asked that to ask this. Seeing that it has been a long time coming since we started that kind of comedy, that kind of television from before, the way movies are going and we have film villages, how come it's not something for sitcom, what do you call them now, sets? Like
you have a studio, like a normal studio.
Dedicated to sitcoms and stuff like that.
It's actually a collaboration between not just us alone, at least the federal government, or rather, the government should also be stakeholders in it. And it's a gradual process, but we'll get there.
All right. I know that you yourself have sort of, in a way, begun to give back. I know you're involved with a particular project right now that Harvest Talent. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
Harvest Talent. It's more like hunting for fresh talents. But this one has to do a lot with singing and dancing.
Okay.
The other one that has to do with educational, that's, what's it called again? Don't mind me, I have too many projects on my head. It's Whiz Kids.
Okay.
Whiz Kids talent shows for kids between the ages of 8 to 13.
All right.
And it's more educational.
Okay.
Oh, fantastic.
Educational.
Fantastic.
And I belong to a group, a theater group that involves especially special children, special, when I say, yes, and physically challenged. Yeah.
Okay, so you're harvesting these talents. So these kids on their own are evolving way faster than how we evolved, especially with the advent of social media. What's your take on what you see on social media? Individuals simply broadcasting their own material as against before when you had to sit down and wait for NTA. If your show is not on NTA, you haven't blown.
Yeah.
Now they are blowing on social media. What's your take on that? What do you think about that?
It's a wonderful development. I think it makes things easy for them. But compared to us, we went through the hard road. So
break.
yes, so it's a welcome development. I have nothing against it, seriously. But you see, there's a limit.
What might that limit be?
AI.
AI. Let's talk about that now. AI, how would it influence? What's the impact that you foresee that it might have?
AI has already started a lot of things, and it's both negative and positive, but it's more on the negative side. Because when you want to destroy somebody, just use AI. And people will believe it.
Wow.
Not knowing that it's AI. You will have situations where you use somebody's face. And
It used to be called deep fakes before.
Yeah, but now
everything is
AI.
AI,
So,
artificial intelligence.
that's one of the disadvantages. For me.
But I don't know if any AI could portray the role you played back in the day. And
back to that.
Do you have it in you to give us just a little snippet of what we used to get before? Can you?
As Gbenro, you wanted to be after all these years.
I don't know. He probably
I would love to see Gbenro again.
I would. So that is the camera right there. That's the camera right there.
The audience will know that.
I understood what you just said. You want me to bring back Gbenro? We love that character. We still understand him. Good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic that
Thank
you've
you.
joined us.